You just move. Oh my God. You ain't got glasses on. You got contacts. Wait. Y'all need to come up a little bit because I got a disadvantage. Oh yeah, come up. Come up.
You not what you say about relay? This ain't going in reverse.
I said no. Babe, you don't have contacts.
Oh, y'all better be careful because they got a big old wooden stick and if they miss the toilet paper.
From there.
Well, I'm gonna get them. I want to see them coming down, and I'm gonna move over there.
I'm scared. Right? Ready?
Everybody go at the same time? Like, really?
Yes. Everybody go at the same time. Baby, I'm over here. Okay. Don't mess up now. I'm over here. To your far right. Ready? Set. Go. Come on, Charles.
That's what we do. I don't even know where we at.
Why y'all run, Dad?
We had it too.
I don't even know where I'm at. I just don't feel like going further. Oh.
What does it take to be a good wife or husband? Should I speak from both point of views? Which
Speak
one
for
you
yours
want?
first. Speak for wife first. All the women will speak for wife first.
All right. So what do I think it takes to be a good wife? I think it takes patience. Because my patience be tested all the time. And I be trying to be a good wife.
What? You want to elaborate or you just...
No, I'm good. Rhonda, Tiffany.
I probably piggyback on that. I think the biggest thing is, as a woman, you say what it takes to be a good wife. You have to consider what also takes to be a good wife from your husband's perspective. Sometimes as women, in my world, a good wife is X, Y, and Z. But in my husband's world, a good wife may be A, B, C, D. Will overlap in certain areas. Right. But I think that's the key is to understand your spouse and know what their
expectations. I'm gonna bring it to the guys. I really should see if the guys think that their wives are good, but I ain't trying to start no fights.
Wait, hold on.
We're gonna touch on that.
Yeah, we're not answering that question.
Yeah, I don't want to start no fights.
We
Guys.
don't want to start no fight. We all mature adults here.
We don't want no problems.
I don't All right, so fellas, what does it take in your perspective, before you even speak to your wife's perspective, what does it take from your point of view to be a good husband?
I believe understanding and what we do as men, you have to know who your partner is. You have to know what you're trying to accomplish. Prime example for me, my first marriage as a Christian, I'm originally from Brooklyn, so I grew up, Catholic and Episcopal. Went to the South, became Southern Baptist, and decided to marry an atheist, thinking that I could, bring somebody.
Paul, what can Keita do, from your perspective, to be a better wife to you?
Like, should you say what she is doing?
No. Where does she need improvement?
Yeah, that's
from your perspective.
Constructive
criticism. You gotta,
That's actually kind of plans and does all the fun stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I make some money. She figures out how we finna spend it. You know what I mean? So if I had to find to comb it, let me know what I'm finna spend it on. What we finna do?
Itemized receipts, girl.
You know what I mean? Yo, babe, we finna go here. All right, what we finna do? Don't worry about it. You won't know when we get there.
That is you all the time.
Don't worry about it.
But wait a minute. So, wait, am I finna have to pull out the card when I get there?
All friends turning on.
You know what I mean?
All friends turning on.
So if I had to fine tooth comb it, dog, that's what I'm
There's somewhere in there.
There's somewhere in there.
The same question.
Can I respond?
Get it out.
Keeping in mind that Jay's not here to defend himself.
I know exactly what he was saying to work on is listening.
That's what he would say, or you?
He would say that of me.
Okay.
Because I think it's also just the way our brains process. My brain is processing quicker, so when he's talking or saying something, I'm already thinking of a response. And to me, he's talking slow. However, the way his mother raised him, because he used to get in trouble younger with talking before speaking, and especially as a young black boy, he used to go to, he had some stuff, and his mom said, always think before you talk, because some of the things that come out your mouth, they're going to misconstrue it. So when he's talking, and he's talking slow, and I'll just jump in, and he'll get frustrated and say, but I'm not done. I said, well, I thought you were done. You took a pause. So this is what I have to say.
Right.
So I already know listening would definitely be, I know that he would say that for a fact. Because I know there's, things that I still need to work on. And I think the other thing, too, is that positivity aspect. What Akita's saying is sometimes because, and that comes from, I know, my mother, that other side, always that, always, well, what if, the what if. So I know that's something else you say, just kind of still looking at the positivity of whatever the situation is. Because I'm thinking of, well, what if it's the negative side, and how do we plan? Because I'm kind of like Paul the planner. Well, how do we plan for that? How are we going to prepare for it if this happens? So those are the two things I know he would probably say that, I wish that I could work on more, which I am. I'm work in progress.
Okay.
And I have come a long way. In regards to him, though, it kind of even comes back to, what was your name again? Rhonda/Tiffany, right?
Yes.
It goes back to a real
inside joke.
Oh, sorry. Is even the thing of, if I was to look, say, well, what can he work on better? And, Keita and I had a conversation recently, was like, those little things that may irk you, or you like, oh, God, I wish you could do that better, like the handyman stuff, because I do that shit too. I'm like, my daddy. You don't like that. Or leaving clothes around the house, little stuff like that, where it's so petty and so small. When I look at the bigger picture of everything that he does, everything he does, he's still a great dad. He grinded out when we were in the roughest times, getting 2-3 jobs. He still helps with the kids. He cook, he clean. It may not be to my standards, but he's still doing it. So even in terms of things that he could improve, I can't even say anything specifically except for continue to do what he's doing, because it's like being appreciative of all those things
that he's doing.
Yeah, right. That he's doing, and like right now, I really couldn't. He's yeah.
Shout out to you, Jay. So my wife said I'm perfect, so we're gonna skip us. Gonna go to you guys. Now, keep in mind, they're getting married, right? In the phase that they are now. Anything else?
Heard it here first.
So,
go
like,
ahead.
so like he was saying, like you got to get all of your, like what's on your mind out now. Like that's kind of like where the phase we are in, or we like kind of had it and still kind of working on stuff. But the thing is that we are both very emotional. Okay. / extra. So I'm just saying that's how both of we are. So when it comes to an argue, it's like we're both emotional and neither one of us are listening to what each other is saying until the very end, until all the emotions are out. So that's like maybe like one thing. And I'm the type of person that instantly like feeds off the vibe of him. So if like a challenge hits him and it's not like a good, like something went wrong, like I feel like, oh, like, is it okay? It takes him a minute to get over that, and I have to, I guess, we're still working on that.
We all are.
Yeah.
Dre, anything.
So,
they start off the side.
I think that she's definitely worked on a lot of things. I'm definitely, anybody that's known me from prior years, which is Laura, Donnell, Rhonda, I'm not the easiest person.
No.
I'm definitely not your average cat. But upon leaving Temple, the difference that I say that Taylor has a different obstacle for her, which it makes it a little bit harder. When I got back from my tour, I came back with PTSD, and that's actually what ruined my first marriage. Okay. What I've learned is that, you expect somebody to be able to, like, people say that they're 100% in, but what you don't realize is I volunteered to experience everything that I experienced, but not everybody volunteered to share those experiences with me, but they're still mine. So you have to give people that ability to catch up. Taylor is definitely, I mean, I'm blessed for the learning curve that she's been willing to try to accept. It's not easy for her because, like she says, when we get into our arguments, they definitely blow up because for me, I need a whole second to catch up to the time of day, to the time of year. Like when I have I don't really understand everything that's going on, and I know that, and that frustrates me. So not being able to catch on to who I was makes our arguments a lot harder because I'm really more frustrated at me and the stage that I'm at than I am with what she's able to accept right now. And she's, for a lack of a better word, been very
gracious.
She's been getting better with her understanding because a lot of times she definitely wants me to talk right then and there. Like that's what your average person like. No, we need to discuss this. We love each other. I don't process information the same way that I used to, and I've had to accept that like I need to continue my therapies. You know, anybody that's ever dealt with veteran family members or anything, we hate the VA. We don't want to deal with the VA. But at the end of the day, honestly, if I want to be the man that she needs, I need to try every avenue that there is expended to me to try to deal with that because. No, I didn't come back the same, but if I want to have any type of life that's worth having, there are things that I have to fight more so than her understanding to allow her to be able to understand. And then just share those. Not everybody wants to know what you experience. You don't have to share that story. That story is for you. You volunteer for that. But giving her that opportunity to catch up on her level to where she can understand what she's, and I don't even want to say like needs to do, like what is there that really needs to be done except be there for each other at times. You know, that's really it. So I've had to learn that learning curve doesn't just exist like, no, I'm the one. I got this thing in my head, this recurrent, like, all right, yeah, we got the recurrent dream, bro, we get it. That's cool. She don't have a recurrent dream. She's trying to help me communicate with her and share our experience. Taylor always tells me, I just want to build memories. I want to, and that's, you know what, there's nothing wrong with that. But like for one of our so before we get married, I have to get back on a plane. And I've had to clean up a plane crash. I don't want to get on no plane. But I promised I'm getting on a plane. And I have to. Because I don't want to be stuck. Life's going to continue to happen. You know. And those images, you know, whatever we all experience in life, honestly, you know, like I said, I go back to my original statement. Nothing is worse than anybody else's. Your experiences is all that you were able to experience. Their experience is all that they're able to experience. And the fact that she's just really been there to try to help understand, like, oh, that's not your problem. Like, if I want her to come to my therapy sessions, I know she'll come. I'm just not ready to share those sessions because I don't know, you know, where I'm at yet. You know, so that's one of those like, hey, so you all in? I'm all in. You know, and the fact that we all in, I can't really ask for much more. But you know, just keep working with me. He ain't through with me yet. You know, he ain't done.
Big, bring it home. What is your perfect husband? Need a word on.
Did it say it?
That was an alley-oop for you to say nothing. But go ahead. Bring us home.
This perfect husband.
You can take that out because you're about to kill me, I feel. So just wrap.
She didn't want to start with soul.
Yeah.
See, what had happened was, we got married. He turned into something else. And I was like, oh, buddy, where did this come from? Okay, on a serious note. My husband needs to work on his attitude. He's working on his attitude. But the attitude
Just
Pull it back.
Yeah. So, you know, we have our hiccups, and I don't ever think they're anything really serious. But when it comes down, it's a combination of the attitude and the moods, right? And so the mood go up there, and so does your attitude. And if you can't bring it, if you can't reel it back in for the better of both of us, it's like you're doing us both a disservice. And so I think that's one of the biggest things that you are and will continue to have to work on.
Okay. I was gonna say he's perfect since we going here.
I'm not perfect.
I'm joking.
I'm not perfect.
My wife is great.
Dang, I should have started with that.
Yeah, you
Felt that one.
yeah, that was the alley-oop that you done. My wife is great, and it's not really much that I can really ask for her to improve. To piggyback off of what you said, like for anybody who's ever dealt with me, I'm extremely hard to love.
definitely not, bruh.
Let him finish.
Oh, it's your time. It's your time. We're here.
I'm sorry. I disagree, but I'm gonna let you finish, husband.
That's because you love me. No?
Yeah.
I don't want to see his attitude. Please don't.
Man, all right. As he was saying.
As I was saying.
Sorry.
I'm hard to love from the aspect of me giving it back. I kind of expect whatever I give to be reciprocated in the form or fashion that I need it back.
That you gave it.
That I gave it. Almost in a template fashion. I did this for you. I'm expecting, not for you to give it back right away, but hey, I did this. Don't lower the bar for me. Keep it on an even keel. That sometimes, I can't expect my spouse to do that because everybody's different, right? For her, she's found the fine line of being able to work within what I need. When I give something, the way she gives it back, I feel like it needs to be worked on just a tad bit, but for the most part, she does give it back. So I won't say that's it. What I will say is her listening, because again, I stress communication all the time. The listening is faulty at times, or it teeters at times, to where we could be discussing something that I may deem serious, right? She won't deem it serious, so she'll act as such, right? And when she acts as such, she might try or attempt to make the mood lighter. But I'm up here because it's a serious situation for me, and I'm trying to explain that or stress that it's serious to me. But she keeps it on the light, so she's laughing and joking. So I start going higher. I start seeing red. Is that? I start seeing red because of the fact that it's like, okay, I'm serious. And I'm trying to stress to you that this is a serious, it might not be serious to you, right? But it's serious to me. And not that I need you to match my energy, but I need you to stop playing, because it's only going to upset me more, because I'm stressing that this is something that's really bothering, right? And when I say about the hard to love part, I'm not one to normally stress how I feel. I'm the one that pulls in. If I'm going through something, I'm extremely introverted. If I'm going through something, I withdraw from everybody and everything, right? So if my wife says, hey, well, I need you to communicate, and then I finally open up, and then you play with it, I'm going to draw back farther. And I'm going to say, all right, well, that didn't work. You know what I mean? So I think for her, it would be understanding, self-awareness, but understanding the situation at hand, in a sense, and being able to listen to what I'm saying. We're both faulty on this part. We listen to respond, which, you know, when it comes to conversations or whatever, I don't know if it's the alpha in us, because I feel like we're both alphas. So it's like, you know, I'm saying my points, da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I hear you, but da-da-da-da-da-da. And we're cutting each other off. Speak. I'm sorry. Cutting off.
Sometimes I be feeling like he be
literally
listening
was
slow.
Just now. She literally.
That's what she said. That's what I said.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's just the way
Like
the brain is going.
it's right. Like I feel like my thing is the way I think. Right. Give it to me straight. Got it. Right. He's more detailed and more thorough. My thing is, I will ask for detail if I need it, but give me the plain, straight fact immediately. Because if you give it to me in detail, and then I have a problem listening. Because now I'm stopping listening, not on purpose. My brain shuts off. Yeah, my brain shuts off. Wait, my brain shuts off.
All around the place now.
But wait, can I finish? Can I finish?
Throw it to Paul.
Listen to her, yeah.
My brain shuts off, and I can hear you still talking, but it's not coming in here, and so I hear you. I'm missing all the details because I don't know what the point is. Right? I'm not finished yet.
You cut me off, but I'm sorry.
I want to raise my hand.
All right, I'm sorry. I apologize. We're working on it. Go ahead.
So, with that being said, right? I'm trying to get where he's coming, where he's coming from. But I feel like if you don't tell me the point first, and then, hey, babe, need explanation. Can you give me more details? Then I'm going to be listening because now I don't understand. Now I know what you're trying to get across to me, and then now I'm trying to listen to the detail. Engineer. Exactly. I just can't listen to the whole drawn out story, and I'm like, where's this going? Wait, what? Huh? Because now I'm forming my. No, I'm okay. I'm not saying I can't. I can. I'm just saying it's just that now I don't know what I'm listening for. What do you want to accomplish from me? What do you want me to accomplish? But if I don't know what I'm listening for, then I'm going to miss the whole point. Like, you could be telling me a story, and I get stuck halfway through, like, why did he do that? Like, and you're like, but wait, babe, that's not even what, you know what I mean? And now you never get to the end of the part, because I'm still stuck right there.
My only problem with that, because I'm okay with saying less. If you say, hey, I got it, I understand, and then you try to give me what you understood and you're off completely, then I say, all right, I like to speak in detail because I don't want to repeat myself. So let me give you the whole story. Can I speak?
He said just listen.
Oh, yeah, I am.
I don't like to repeat myself. I'm going to give you all the facts. I'm going to lay it all out for you. You pick what you need, but I'm going to lay it all out for you. Right? If you stop somewhere, wherever, and you say, all right, if I give you 10 seconds to answer a question, and you got the question in 2 seconds, and you answer and you're wrong, you should have waited. It took more time.
Right. She listens to respond.
Listens to respond. My issue is if you're going to tell me, hey, you know what? I got it. I understand. All right, cool. And then you say, I get it, and you tell me, and it's like, no. And it's like, well, let me get it all the way out. Right. Maybe you would have heard.
Can I make an observation with y'all, too? It's funny because Laura, I think like you, but it's weird because I'm the detail person. But watching y'all, I'm watching me and Jay. So when he was talking, and you stopped in between, like hello, and I got something to say, that's me. But it's funny because he'll tell me that I don't see it, but seeing someone else in the same exact thing kind of puts me in check. Like, oh,
that's good tip.
This what he's talking about. Perfect. So the thing is, like, he was still talking, but in your head, you're ready to respond right away. And that's just like me, and it cuts him off. So, and he's just like Jay. He lets you cut him off. Jay doesn't think he let me cut him off, but inside, he's internalizing it like, this bitch won't shut up. I'm going to forget what the hell I'm going to say. So that's the one thing it sounds like me and you just need to work on is that part of just, even though they may, I won't say slower, you're not slower, but take a little long time. You have to find that way to, have to find that, find that way to bite the tongue and let them finish, because I'm clearly working on it too. But it was just funny just seeing y'all literally right then. That was me and him, and I was just like,
shout out to Jay.
That's not a shout out. That was an observation.
Shout out to Jay.
My issue is that like the reason why I try to interject when like halfway through or bits and pieces through is because you could say all of that. And I could forget everything that I was supposed to say. And then at the end, he's looking for a response. I got nothing.
shatter it right now.
Can I add to that?
You can add. You can add. Now I'm gonna shatter it.
Okay. No, but I was just gonna add. That's what I had trouble with because I'm an overthinker. I think like it's just like constantly running, like thinking of the future. What if I had to like wait? I had to stop listening to respond because that got me in trouble. So that's what I learned, that I was listening to respond. And you gotta just listen.
Shatters, bro.
So.
Yo, I'm leaving.
Look, but I'm on the same page with you. On the same page.
You just gotta learn.
It's hard.
So.
You know what I did one time? I took notes when he talked. So I remember.
No, seriously.
I did that one time.
Because one of the things that we did, now, by all means, I am not, when I give examples, I'm not saying that we're perfect by any means. Just kind of our experience. And so, what we kind of did has helped other folks that we chatted with, all kinds of stuff. So, we've been there. One of the things that we did do, and this was extreme, we literally took notes while the person was talking.
Like in front of each other?
In front of each other.
That wouldn't drive you crazy though?
It did, absolutely.
Use your notepad on your phone.
But because just as what she observed, that infuriated me to the point where, like Darnell was saying, I might now have to back away because I'm going to say something that could potentially shatter
something else.
This entire thing.
Right, gotcha.
Because you have to be careful. You have to learn as you're getting married. You have to learn how to master your emotions.
Word.
You have to. And so what happens is we as people are creatures of habit. And so what will eventually happen, the longer that you are aware of that and the longer that you guys are together, you will begin to adapt. You will begin to adapt. And so it doesn't seem like it at the time, but eventually, because I'll talk, because I'm very long-winded. I'm very long-winded. And she'll say, and sometimes, and she'll joke about it, and I used to take it personal. And she would joke about it, and she'll say, and you said all of that to say this. My response, yeah. And so, it used to, that.
It infuriates me.
Yes, that's what it did. But you know what happens now? I'll do that. You don't get the same response. And when we don't necessarily argue hardly about, honestly, really anything. Like if it is, it's something dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like really something dumb. Exactly. But we've gotten to the point where we're at a level where she knows me and I know her. So I say that to say that, you feel that stuff now, because you guys are probably in that same boat. You feel that stuff now because it's in the beginning stages of the relationship. But eventually, it's just going to become second nature because you're going to mold to what he needs you to be and vice versa. And so you just have to work through those things. But the hardest thing is making sure that you're aware of it. And you might have to, whatever you guys have to do, like for us, it was literally taking notes and then saying, okay, when you said this, boom, 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 boom. When you said this, boom, 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 boom. And you got to sit.
To cut you off right now.
And you got to sit there and take it. But that's how we got through. Sure. Go ahead.
Okay, let me tell you where I would have a dilemma with that.
Mm-hmm.
She cut him off. So
No, I didn't cut him off.
I'm
looking for help. I'm looking for help.
Right, see what you should have done? You should have asked her phone when you said this.
I'm looking for help.
Seriously.
I'm looking for help here, guys. Help me. Help me, please. Okay. All right. Prime example.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking. I picked up my phone, taking notes. All right. When you did it. Yeah. What'd you say?
Come on.
I done missed the whole part while I'm taking notes because I stopped listening. Like that's just me.
And I stopped talking while you were typing. I stopped talking.
Okay, thank you, because you missed that part.
Because I need her to hear what I'm saying.
Okay, good. You need to listen to that part.
I don't stop.
I just don't stop talking.
I did. I sure as heck did.
Think about it.
I'm not like when
If
you're
I
going
could take
over
notes.
your whole argument, your dissertation. I'm not writing down word for word what you said. I'm writing down bullets, and you're not stopping to talk.
If I felt that you weren't listening, yeah, I did.
Oh, if you felt that I wasn't listening.
Yeah, sure did.
Okay.
Right.
Sure did.
And that's important.
Sure did.
That's the point of like where I'll get to. Like just from I don't need eye contact, and obviously we got a long distance relationship, so I wouldn't even notice she literally was taking notes unless she was saying, I'm taking notes. So pay attention. But in the times that we are together, you know, if I do feel that you're not paying attention, I'll shut up too. Because now I'm talking for no reason. You know what I mean? And then it'll be hard for me to start back up. My issue is starting back up. All right, I'm shutting up. You know what I mean? I got nothing else to say. And when you say what's wrong, don't even worry about it. I'm good. You know what I mean? And it's hard for me to get back to, I want to open up again because I tried to open up to you. And you shut it down by not listening to me.
This is why they say marriage is work.
It's work. I mean, and people who crave it and look at y'all like you have it, and you like, and it be people who are closest sometimes too. You be like, you don't remember when it was broke. You don't remember, like, I don't talk about people's stuff, you know what I mean? But people can see your journey over time. You don't remember the time when I did or he did or he said, like, we didn't just get to this part by I just decided. And the biggest thing with the arguments is like, you know, I had to start respecting, like, in my mind, I'm like, there's nothing that would ever make me be that mad at him where I won't listen. And I used to take it personally where when he's saying, I'm too mad to talk to you right now, the first thing I'm thinking is, well, if I don't feel that way about you, then how could you feel that way about me? Like, if there's nothing that you can say to make me that mad, why do I make you that mad? You know what I mean? So what starts happening is when we did try to hash it out in the beginning, he used to just say, well, sometimes you know, we get in an argument, and now a month later, you finally want to bring up during this argument something you should have brought a month ago. So now just tell me. Like, I'd rather you tell me. So then when he was doing something, I was like, okay, I have something to tell you. And it's like, all right, now you covered it up. Like, now, like, damn, every day. Like, damn, y'all talking about every day. And essentially, though, sometimes in those arguments, it really is, you both have to go to your corner and come back when I actually seriously want to know what's making you tick and what's really actually causing a problem. Because sometimes we be like, go ahead and talk.
But you ain't really there.
Go ahead and talk. And you want to talk, and you be like, he don't know mama tell him. And you just, and that's not really for us to grow. That type of argument is really for me to be trying to prove to you why I still feel I'm right. Let us, if it takes me a day and it takes you 5 hours, and why it takes that long, but that's just our processing. But when we at least say we want to have a conversation, it needs to be to let's get past this and build, as opposed to I'm only having this conversation with you to still prove why I'm right, why you were wrong, and why I'm still going to stay this way. If that's the attitude that you have, you're going to be in the 1 to 5 years or 20 and unhappy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you make that pick for yourself, but you really honestly have to come to the table saying, I want us both to be wanting to fix this, as opposed to I want us both to talk so I can still prove to you why there's an issue or why I'm right.
See, can I add? Well, not add, but like, what do you do? Like I said, like I can pick up on his energy. Like, what do you like when he's in a bad mood? He's like, "What's wrong, baby?" He's like, "Nothing." I was like, "I know." Like, I can feel you right now. It is really intense. Something is wrong. Like, I can feel his energy. It runs in my family, but. I'd be like, what? I mean, what's the matter? He'd be like, nothing. Like, I don't know, like, what to do, and I'm, like, normally I just, like, let him be.
Walk away.
And I ignore it. Like, I
have
let
to
him
be willing to let them.
You gotta ask him.
Right.
But if he says, like, nothing's wrong, like.
When he's not in that mood.
Right, you gotta find out from him. Because I can tell you what will work for me, it might not work for him. You know what I mean? So,
I shut smooth.
Yeah, for me, I
don't know what I'm going to say. I don't want to say nothing crazy. I got to think because sometimes my mind's going to get to the wrong assumption. And I'm like, I don't want to listen to Dre right now. But then somebody trying to get an answer from Dre right now. And I'm like, Dre not ready to talk. Yeah, I'll talk in the third person because I know that he is not the person you want to talk to right now. If you let him talk, somebody got to shut him down. And I'm the only person that can shut him down. So I got to shut all the way down so there ain't no sound.
Right now.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because I love you, and I know that I said the wrong thing. And I'm like, that is not what I interpreted. Everything I interpreted is wrong, and I know it's wrong. But right now, that's all I believe. So let me just
But if I bring it back up and ask you when you're ready, like, you'll get back in that
not when you're ready.
Because I don't understand.
After she asks you if something's wrong, you say,
No,
I'm good,
fine.
whatever.
Yeah.
Is it now your responsibility to come to her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
100%.
Well, because like,
So
if
now
I
you,
bring
I
so
know
now
that,
you just
though.
be
It's the way-
patient.
I'm gonna be
The
real.
fact that you asked, there it is.
And that's the thing that I'll be honest. So one
That's
thing
what
that I
he's
know
saying.
that we work on is, I know up here ain't right. You know, we know that up here ain't like no. And I'll be, you know, and what's funny is like when we first started dating, I'm that type of person. Like if I like, she actually makes a joke called "Hoe for Show Dre" when my hoe for show days. Because we worked at
right.
First of all, hey, time out. We ain't asking. But when we work together, I've never like. I tell my history. I don't care. I'm who I've always been. If you don't like me, you don't like me. If you like me, good for you.
Never
like that's how. Yeah, exactly. Asian. But no. So, but this is how I've always been, and you know, I had to try to kind of tweak how I was, or kind of like understand who I was at certain times, because if I didn't accept who I was, if I didn't really just put my information out there, I don't want nobody to think that I lied about anything. Have you ever been? No, I used to be a savage sometimes. I didn't care. You know, I was active dude. I didn't want no permanent relationship while I was overseas. What you gonna tell me? Why are you not picking up the phone? I'm in the desert. I ain't got no phone. What you want me to do?
Right.
You know, I just knew that I had that tendency that I would bark those.
Right.
And nobody deserves. I have all sisters. Technically, too many to be exact. But if I didn't give my it's all girls, man. But it was also my benefit, because I knew like my sisters, they don't hold no punches. They all just straight G's. They tell me that I ain't shit. You know, and I appreciate that, because that's how I was able to work on things. And if I didn't, I couldn't provide, or I wouldn't be able to learn from the things that she would tell me. And that's how I know, don't talk to me right now. Because before, I'd be like, yeah, we could talk. You want to talk? I give you everything you want to know.
Like, I thought it was good to have.
But I look at it.
Yeah,
timing always matters.
But it wouldn't be like, it'd be like 3 days later, and it's like a trigger. Like if I bring it up again, it's still not.
But that's what
gotta keep waiting.
I have to work on.
Right.
That part is how long it takes me to respond back. I realize, you know, she's been very great with giving me that time now that she understands. Like, I want to make sure, I don't like to be the person to say hurtful things. Like, I feel like when people kind of, like, try to push, and I start loading up things in my head to say to, like, try to back you off. Like, I know if I say some, ooh, you ain't, but that's not, one, that's not how you feel. Two, that's wrong, period. Like, I think being hurtful when there's nothing to be hurtful for is just negative.
That's maturity. I mean, you have to realize, like, in the beginning, he would say, I'm still mad, and I'll say, okay. And then what happened is we haven't spoken for a few days. We've always looked at each other. You've known that. Yeah. We've legit, we had 3 days together, and after that, we were like, you know what? We in it together forever. And that's essentially what's become. We've always been with each other. And you would argue, and then we didn't speak for a couple of days, and then he would come, I'm washing dishes, he smacked me on the butt, we'd laugh, and then it's over. And essentially, but that problem ends up popping back up 3 months later because we really actually never talked about it. So then it was like, all right, we got to start talking about it. So what happened is, you know, he's my best friend. He, since 21, has been the only person in my life. I'm 33 now. So, like, essentially, when we don't speak, that really does affect my day. You know what I'm saying? He sleeps during the day. So he's at home sleeping, and at work, I'm like, I'm bothered. And I have family to run. I have a job to do. I have a psyche for my own mess that I have to maintain. And when I tell you, you know, granted, I know that it bothers you too that we're not speaking, but right now for you, it's like, I'm still processing and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's actually eating me up inside, and it really hurts. You know what I'm saying? And it's the maturity in you to realize, like, all right, I've let a few days or a few weeks or however long this go by, but I know that it's affecting my partner. So let me at least just tell her we will still talk, because it was always so, if it's been 3 days, look, because I'm like, well, it's today. It's the day that we can talk. No, Rhonda. No, and I'm like, all right. Because after a while, too, it's like, look, I ain't going to be sitting around for nobody for 2 weeks.
Right.
Like, I don't care how much I love you. Also, you have to realize what it does to me and how that can affect us as a couple. When you see, Satan be moving, the longer that you want to choose, you want to play around and not speak to each other. You'll know how many little things come through, whether it's on my end or your end. Right. So it is essentially understanding that the person that, like we said, you're always growing. The stuff that y'all argue about now, year 1, you get to year 5, you're like, yo, were we really mad about that? Were we really? And then you get to year 10, and you're like, yo, like the things that we're experiencing now. Now we're parents. Now, he's lost a parent. We've lost a child. There's things that go through the terminal things that you start realizing that in all those moments, I don't know how it affects you. Right. I don't know how it affects me. You've always seen me even. Now you're seeing me upset. How does that affect you as my husband? I don't know how to make her happy. I don't know how to. And it's just you always understanding and realizing that we are the team. Like me, him, and our children are essentially the only things that I actually need. Anything outside of that is a bonus, but it's not a requirement, and nor is it necessary. This unit is what I need. So I have to always realize I got to make sure that me and him are straight for us to enjoy that and benefit it. And so that for me, that's my wrap up.
Oh, quick wrap up.
I think like where we're at now, marriage is good. I think marriage is definitely work, but it's the highest covenant that God has, and like Ron said, like this chick right here is my right hand. Like I know that if anything goes down, even if I gotta put hands on somebody, I know she's right there. You know what I mean? And like we just have so much fun together. Like this is literally my best friend. You know what I'm saying? It's just great. You know what I'm saying? So for me, marriage is good. Y'all thinking about it? Marriage is good. Don't let nobody tell you that.
Word, Keita.
So quick things. Grateful for my husband. Grateful that number one, that he appreciates or allows me to keep my external family, because we're both very, very family oriented, and so to know that he loves my external family and I love his external family meant the world. It still means the world to me, and he allows me to support them whenever necessary. And then 2, one thing that I recently heard another married couple say is that you don't have to be unified to be united. So that we don't always have to agree behind closed doors, but as long as when we go out, that we're a united front. So I think that is a definite takeaway.
Good. Anything?
I completely zoned out.
That's
Come back to me.
Come back to you, Donna. Anything? Closing thoughts. Anything?
Closing thoughts. Actually, if you're gonna do marriage, you can't be a quitter.
Or
because there's always gonna be things that pop up, and a lot of times you might feel like, I might just go get something else, and it's never gonna be. Right. If you remember the feeling that you had that got you to the point where, I'm about to marry this person, then whatever else comes along after that feeling that you had should be enough to push past however difficult, whatever trials, tribulations might come up. So,
Babe, going to you.
Taylor.
No, Taylor.
Oh.
Going to you. Pass it off.
Well, I'm just thankful for Andre. I love him so much. I'm about to cry, but I'm emotional, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I just love him because he's willing to work on himself. He's willing to do anything and everything just for us, and just so he can be better for us to keep going. And I just appreciate all the little things he does. He may not know, but just having things ready for me in the morning, or knowing if my keys are over here, oh, she's gonna need her keys, so he puts them right there, so I'll see them before I leave, or leave like a breakfast muffin or something, because he knows I love breakfast, and I need something. I need breakfast to start my day. He'll have it ready for me before I leave or open my door and stuff. So I just appreciate him, and I make sure he knows that all the time.
Anything.
Marriage definitely takes work, and I just like my note, because everybody said great points, is to piggyback off of just this unit that we're doing tonight. Like, I think that things like this are very vital in actually relationships, because in today's society, you don't really see too much, encouragement in our communities, not racially, just in our communities as a whole, as far as giving the males and females proper advice and proper just information. It's not even about advice, just sharing, like, marriage is work. It's not Beauty and the Beast. It's not Disney stories. It's like, it's not that. You can't just wake up and then be like, oh, I can't believe he or she can't cook this, that, and the third. Like, look, Donnell be in the kitchen. We Caribbean, like, that's just what we do. It's not a work. It's not a role thing. Like, I like to eat good, so I might I'm be in there. I'm gonna cook something. You want it? You know what I'm saying? Like, we hungry. You feel me? So like the having this in the community, just being able to share with other couples, other relationships, just to sit there and just be like, hey, I'm not the only one to deal with this. Right. I'm hard-headed. It was hard-headed too.
Right. I ain't so bad.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we all trying to work on ourselves, and it's just the community aspect of it is something I'm just thankful that y'all invited us out here to be a part of with you guys.
I just feel like marriage goes in waves. There's ways of work. There's ways of she don't look that good today. There's ways of lust where you feel like the kids got to go. We're about to get it today. So there's waves. It's not always going to be. It's not always going to be. Oh, marriage. Some days it's going to be like, oh, marriage. but tomorrow might be better. So
right. Amen.
All right. So I have my tidbit. I think the tidbit is to try to make your spouse or you and your spouse should become best friends. I know for our personal friends, that made a world of a difference with our marriage, is when we got in the things we didn't even know we were best friends at that point until, at some point I think we're saying, like, when my husband told me, I remember that they told me I was his best friend. I was like, am I really? I know. I tell you everything. I tell the niggas, you got me with the And I felt so, and then when I reflected on it, and, he is mine as well, it makes things funner, it makes things easier. Right. I think that's my little tidbit.
All right, so, like, my closing thoughts on just everything that we done touched on is, number one, communication is key. Number two, forgiveness. Forgiveness is necessary to resolve any situation and move forward. 3, don't be coming at your spouse's neck because you don't want him to come at yours. 4, gotta listen. I don't listen, need to listen. My son told me the other day, don't listen.
Kids be checking you.
Shout out to you, G. Man.
I need to do a better job at listening. You need to get me a notepad. And I need to make people stop when I'm writing because I'm not listening. I need to be more straightforward in my approach to getting and receiving messages. That's correct? Is that correct?
That's correct.
What? Wait a minute. This went to a whole nother. That's no attitude. You know what I'm saying?
No attitude. I want no attitude.
Who has the attitude? Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
No, I'm sorry. I asked him a question, want the answer. Okay?
She's from Queens, everybody.
No, on an all serious note, I think today has been very enlightening for everyone involved. Y'all two having the more length of time that
y'all two can relate. They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know. They don't have no clue. I mean, Dre, you know a little something. But you're embarking on a new journey. Everybody's learning. No shade or anything like that. Tiff, and your marriage is great. And then us newbies, I think the biggest thing that I want everyone to know is that trying is important. Always trying to do better, trying to make you and your spouse better, trying to make your relationship better. Trying is the little baby step that you need to get to the next step. Every little bit counts, and every little bit adds up to the biggest change that you didn't even realize that you was making, because you added these little tidbit steps in to make you and your spouse successful. And so that's my close.
Closing thoughts on me. Kind of want you guys to just think of any celebrity that you guys look to, you idolize, or whatever the case is. You look at them, you see them now, and you're thinking, wow, I wish I can be where they are, because they're rich and they're famous and everything else. The part that you don't see is what it took for them to get there. They went through the lowest of lows to get to that type of high. So when you look at marriage, I would like for y'all, whoever's thinking about getting married, I need y'all to understand that there's low parts as well when you get to that high part. There's going to be times where, things are looking down, looking bleak. You might not even know how you're going to come out of it. Just understand that when you look at marriage, you might look at somebody and say, oh, I wish I had what they had. Know what you're signing up for when you say that. And be careful what you wish for, because it's not something that's just roses and peaches and everything at any given time. You could hit a wall, you know what I mean? And then you got to figure out how to get back from that. So if you guys go into it understanding that, I think that marriage is great. I don't want to deter anybody from getting married. I still feel like I made the best decision of my life. And I don't want any of our conversations, like the interactions that we had, to defer anybody from that. It's just good that you guys understand the details of marriage, as opposed to just seeing everybody smiling on camera and feeling like, oh, I want what these guys have. You heard it from everybody in the room. There's a lot that comes with marriage, and if you sign up for it, know that you signed up for a lifetime job, a career even. Like, you signed up for something that's extensive, as opposed to something that you just might see in a book somewhere where everybody's smiling and happy. So I want to thank everybody who was in the video, sharing your experiences and everything, and being transparent, because this is not as easy as some people may think it is. I kind of wanted to get another video with the gang, but time-wise, we just kind of ran over. So we'll all be back in some way, shape, or form. There's going to be more with just me and my wife. Look out for Unsaid Series, MC Let's Talk Edition, which is this right here, as well as Marriage Chronicles, the volume series. We'll be getting back to you guys shortly.